So for this philosophical thought video, I want to talk about the subject of gossip. So if you saw my last Bible study video, I did talk about gossip. I did mention two biblical verses from two different testaments, the Old and New Testament. Exodus 23 verse 1, and then the Epistle of St. James 1 verse 26. So, if you saw my last video on my Bible studies video, I talked about how gossip is wrong and it's also a sin Moses was told by God, you shall not lie about someone because it would be considered as a form of slander and defamation. And then St. James confirms it by saying, if you don't hold your tongue about who you're speaking about, your own religion is invalid. So, but I want to take things from a philosophical point of view. See, as you can see right now, while I'm doing this video, I am having my lunch. And I want to have lunch with all of you. And the reason why I'm having my lunch with this philosophical video, because here's the thing. I have talked about one of my favorite philosophers, the German philosopher Immanuel Kant. He was from the kingdom of Prussia, even though he was a German-speaking man. Not Russia, Prussia. 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 Prussia is a small German kingdom. And as I've talked about Kant, he was well known for three different critiques. The critique of pure reason, the critique of practical reason, and the critique of judgment. But I want to talk about some things that Kant did talk about gossip in general. One source that I did learn from is that in one of his lectures in anthropology, is that if you're holding like a dinner party with some guests, like with some friends, and if you hear a story about someone that you heard like in public, no matter how bad it is, and you tell it to others at that dinner table, this is what Kant suggested in his lectures in anthropology. If you're going to have a dinner party and you hear a story about someone that's, no matter how bad it is, here's the thing. What happens at that dinner table cannot leave that dinner table and cannot leave that person's house where that story was told. It's like that saying when you go to Las Vegas. What happens in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas. So in Kant's point of view, what happens in the dinner table stays at the dinner table. That includes the house you were at. Whether you're holding the dinner party or you're just a guest, but that kind of conversation and that kind of storytelling cannot leave. So to my point of view, philosophically, better just do what the Bible has been said. Don't gossip. And as I have quoted in my last video from about Socrates, true wisdom of knowing is that you know nothing. Don't say anything. Just say whatever you're told. Whatever was that you were told or what you heard. Just don't. Just act like you didn't hear anything. Like you didn't hear this, and it's best to be told not to hear it. So it's better to stick by a biblical view, a biblical point of view. Don't gossip about anybody. Not only is it sinful, it's bad for your own mind, body, and soul. So it's better not to talk about anything bad about someone. But if you're going to talk about someone, it has to be like positive news, like good news, is what I'm trying to say. Something positive, something good, at least. Nothing bad that's not even confirmed to be true. And yet we're just going to talk about people that would sound slanderous, defaming someone, when we don't even know if those stories are true. Now, another thing about Kant in his personal daily life. Now, after publishing a number of books, including his 3 critiques, when he bought his first home, he had a lot of strict rules, which I believe is fair since it's his own home. He had his own rules, and they had to be strict in a lot of ways. I'm not going to go through all of them. And like you're seeing me right now having lunch with all of you, he would have guests at his house. He would have friends at his house, or he would have he would invite other random people to his home, like students that are influenced by him, friends of his own, or whoever he brings over. Now, he did have some rules when you have lunch with him. So that is to say, if you were, well, here are 4 rules that he put out. One is the account, which is the subject, whatever subject you're going to talk about, the account or subject of you're going to talk about. Step number 2, rule number 2, I meant to say, is the argument. What is the argument of what you're trying to explain here, of your account / subject, whatever that subject is? What is the argument whatsoever, and can you prove it? Whether you agree with it or not, etc. Rule number 3, after you have your subject to talk about and the argument, Kant suggested to have, suggested to tell a little joke. Something funny you learned or you kind of came up with yourself. So that's 3 things right there. The account / subject, rule number 2. The argument, whatever it is you're saying, whether you're telling the truth about something or whatever, etc. Number 3, to make things more enjoyable, tell a little joke. Nothing dirty. Well, if you want to. Clean or dirty joke, whatever, it doesn't matter. And rule number 4, the news of the day. What did you learn out in the world? What did you learn in public? What did you learn? What exactly? So those are the rules that Kant had when living his life. Well, by the time he wrote his critiques and other books, he was already 60 years old, already bought his own home, even though he was living in an apartment, or people in Europe call apartments flats. Yeah, apartment, flat, whatever you want to call it. So by the time he wrote a lot of books, he bought his own home, even still writing after. So Kant had rules in his home, which he went by, which was okay to a lot of people he knew, including friends, which I would agree to as well, because if I held my own dinner party or luncheon, well, to make it fair, it would better, I would have like a limited amount of friends, at least 4 to 6 people. Let me eat these sandwiches before they get cold. So I have a couple of grilled cheese sandwiches, some potato salad, and a typical regular salad. It may look like I'm doing a mukbang here. No, I'm just trying to make a point. So what Kant was trying to say when it came to gossip in his lectures, if you're going to tell a story about someone, no matter how bad it is, those stories cannot leave that conversation table. They cannot leave that dinner table. Cannot leave the house you were at. Whether it's your home or someone else's home that you're in. And again, Kant had rules like I just mentioned. The account / subject, the argument on the subject you're talking about, whatever the subject is, whether you believe to be true or not. Number 3 is a joke. Keep it clean, or if you want it to be dirty, whatever. And then, of course, number 4, the news of the day, whatever that news is. But to my philosophical point of view, don't gossip. Gossip is not only immoral, but also unethical to one's own self. but if you're going to gossip about someone, don't say it. So it's better to have positive, good news. Yeah, so don't. It's best by not only to your own soul and salvation, but from but I guess you could say from an ethical point of view, kind of like a rule, like I talked about, just like I talked about in the Bible. Don't lie about someone. Don't slander. Don't say anything. So I would go with Socrates' point of view. The true wisdom of knowing is that you know nothing. So it's better by morals, is what I'm trying to say. Even by a code of ethics. Human code of ethics. Don't slander nor defame someone by what news you've heard. So, gossiping should be a no-no to people. Never talk bad about people because you don't know what they'll say about you in the process. So, don't gossip ever. So these are so far 2 videos I've done already. I've already done a Bible study video about gossip, and I'm talking about gossip in a philosophical point of view, including what I'm quoting from Kant. If you're going to talk about someone, no matter how bad it is, make sure it never leaves that table. But my own point, not only from a spiritual point of view, like from the Bible, but human ethics alone, don't say anything bad about anybody, is all I can tell. I mean, all I can say. I know I sound like I'm mumbling, it kind of like repeating myself. It's something that I can't control at times. So what I'm saying is, just don't say anything horrible about someone, whether it's true or not. Don't say it, because word will get out, and it's really going to hurt someone no matter what. So yeah, don't gossip. That's my philosophical point of view. Is to never talk bad about someone. But if you're going to talk about someone, it has to be in a good, positive way. Never gossip. All right. Tell me what you think. If you found this kind of odd whatsoever, even though I'm having lunch with all of you. Comment below. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. And stay tuned for future updates, whether it's Bible study videos or philosophical thought videos. All right, then. So this wraps it up. I'm going to go ahead and finish this lunch. So take care. Bye, everyone.